the people from Romania, what is their mood about the Christian brothers? Because I know they've done a lot of good, right? They've done so much good for the country. Is it positive or is it more negative?
I feel like Tate brothers together, they did so much more marketing than the Ministry of Travel has ever did in 10 years for Romania. Okay.
Right.
So I feel like he added a lot of value to Romania. Right. There are people that love him, there are people that hate him.
Yeah.
But I would say that people that love him also have like a more connection, a more tight connection, because they know who they are. They know that maybe he's not the person that they're trying to portray him in.
Is he in a prison cell?
Andrew Tate is currently being held at the
See, one of the biggest things that people don't do is think. So what a lot of people don't understand is that I'm learning from watching you. So if you're on fire, come to me and I'll give you more fire. So one of the key things to remember, this is for everyone, is that what entertains you also trains you, and what you tune into, you turn into. Welcome back to my channel where we discuss property, business, lifestyle and well-being. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, then please hit the like and subscribe button. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really special guest all the way from Romania. He's an expert in Andrew Tate and Christian Tate's case. I'm going to be speaking to him about their case, the Romanian law. I'm also going to be speaking to him about business and crypto. So let's get right into it. Stefan, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. You are an expert on the law, which we want to chat about today, and we're also going to be speaking about business and other things as well. So I appreciate your time. So thank you for joining me. I think the first question that I wanted to really start off with is that where is Andrew Tate being held at the moment in terms of, is he in a prison cell or is he in a police station, or where is he?
Okay. First of all, thanks for having me. Excited to do this interview with you. Now, in regards to your question, Andrew Tate is currently being held at the central station of the arrest police in the capital. So he's not actually in a prison. However, he is in a prison cell. Usually people that are put under arrest as a security measure during the investigation phase, they are kept on this arrest center at the Capitol Police. And that's pretty much it.
So it's not a police, is it a police station, or is it kind of like a detention center? What is it?
Yeah, it's like a detention center. Exactly. But it's similar to like the prisons, the same conditions. So there's nothing else to it.
Right. Okay. Because up here in the UK, because I've been through the system as well, and I know a little bit, and it's like they have either the police station or they have the prison system. They don't have anything in between. So I suppose up there they have something in between where they keep someone before they send somebody to like a big jail or something, right?
Exactly. Well, they are not convicted yet. They are innocent. But again, the arrest period that they face right now is just a security measure.
Got it.
So that's why they don't send them to prison. You are only sent to prison after you are convicted.
I understand. Okay. So currently, as we know that their appeal got rejected, and obviously they're going to be back in court in maybe 20 days or something, or I don't know how long it is. So at the moment, while they are where they are, do they have access to like visits?
Yes, they do have access to the visits, mainly from the lawyers, right? Because that's the most important. I would say that the arrest period will expire on 29th of January. And that's when we are really looking forward to the next main event, which will be most likely the next hearing, right? Now, I think it's also important to understand what will happen once this new hearing starts. And it's mainly the prosecutor will come forward and will propose one of the following 3 security measures going forward. Number 1 is to keep them on arrest for an extra 30 days.
Yeah.
if he feels like he needs more time to continue the investigation to gather further evidence. The second security measure that he can propose is keep them under home arrest for 30 days. And number three, give them a pretrial conditional release, which will imply that they are not allowed to leave the country and they would have to sign some papers once or twice per week at the police station. But those are the three types of security measures that the prosecutor is going to propose.
I understand. So you're saying that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have got access to lawyers visiting them. What about family and friends and that sort of thing? Have they got access for family and friend to come as well?
Yeah, so from my knowledge, they have access to that as well.
Okay, that's interesting. And what about, are they allowed to, for example, because I understand there's two more, there's four of them in total, two women and two guys that have been arrested, brothers and the two other girls.
Yeah.
So can they see each other every day, do you think? Or do you think can they speak to each
Yeah,
other? Like,
that's a good question. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so most likely, I don't know if they are being kept together like two women and two men, right? I also want to mention that from my understanding, there's only Andrew Tate, Tristan, and one Romanian woman, because the other one has been set free.
okay,
She hasn't been put under 30 days arrest. And now, in terms of the prison cell, I would assume that they're being kept together. And here's why. Because if they would like to communicate with each other so they can influence each other's statements, they could do it anyways through the lawyers, right? And so it doesn't make sense to separate them into prison cells. And so they are most likely in the same cell, if that's the question you are looking an answer for.
interesting. That's really interesting. And so do you think because they're such high risk, right? That obviously the world wants to know what's going on. They've got a lot of fans and stuff like that. Do you believe that they're getting held in cells where they're getting watched? Is the cells have got cameras in them? So in terms, I know they wouldn't do that probably, well, but you know, some people may commit suicide or something like that, you know, just because they're high risk. Do you think they're under like huge surveillance?
To be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with the exact location where they are being
I
kept
understand.
under arrest. I do know that usually the prisons have security cameras.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it for this.
Okay. So in terms of the judge and
Yeah.
the you know, the prosecution, I know it's really far away between now and then, but if it does go to trial, do you have a system in Romania where they have like a jury system where, you know, people come in and then, or is it like just the judge makes a decision what he thinks is right and what's fair?
We don't have jury in Romania. The legal system is based on a trial, right? It's the prosecutor, the judge that is solely taking the decision, and the defendant part, which is like the lawyer. That's it.
Okay.
And obviously, depending on which level of court you are facing, it can be one judge, two judges, three judges, or five judges that are taking a decision in that specific case.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Like, see, up in the UK, we have like the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Exactly. So there are four levels to it in Romania, and again, but since they are facing charges related to crimes, right? They started already at the second level.
Okay, interesting.
We call it tribunal. Yeah.
What do you call it?
Tribunal.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so this is another thing I wanted to ask about the lawyers specifically that are representing them. So have they got one lawyer that's representing all three, or do they have separate lawyers within one firm?
Yeah, so from my knowledge, they have more lawyers than one. I think they have a team of 4 or 5, whatever it might be. They also brought a lawyer from UK, from what I saw in some newspapers. The idea is that they're not lacking the lawyers because they have some of the best teams in terms of lawyers. The only problem that I see in this specific case is that they are going to have a hard time defending themselves because there's a lot of audio video evidence that incriminates themselves, right? So that would be the only issue because the prosecutor, all he has to do is just show the judge this material. exactly, and then they would have to do it to defend themselves. Even like
Interesting.
the first, even like the first judge that decided to keep them under arrest for 30 days.
Yeah,
He said that because the defendants, so their lawyers said this, okay, our clients are playing a persona, they're playing a character, so you can't judge them for that. Like, you can't prosecute them for that. You can take in consideration this evidence. But the judge said this, since the suspects are playing the same persona with the victims as well, it means that this is not a persona, this is who they are. So we can't take this seriously. So we can't accept the defendant's part. Does that make sense?
yeah. I understand. Okay, so see like the senior barristers and the senior judges and of kind of most of the countries. Well, I'll speak for UK. So see like the top judges and the QCs and the KCs and the top barristers, they more like know each other, and they kind of go to the same places, and eat at the same places. And it's, I'm not saying they're all friends, but they kind of know of each other. So my question was that I understand that the prosecutor is really, really, like, he's very well known for taking on big cases, right?
Cases.
However, see the defense team. Do you believe, from the knowledge that you've got, that they are also respectable and they hold huge weight? Because I mean, I've witnessed it myself in some courts when a really, really senior barrister or senior QC turns up in court, the judge really respects them, right? To be like,
Yeah,
okay, I've got this person in front of me, I respect him. But then there's others, for example, that are just starting off. They're not really respected because they haven't earned anything, right? They haven't earned their stripes yet, type thing. So
exactly.
is the defense formidable as well?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Again, I would say that from the research that I've done on Andrew
Yeah.
Tate's lawyers, they seem like very capable persons. Okay, they
Okay.
are very well known in Bucharest, in Romania. However, when it comes to, and especially when it comes to the crime law, okay, maybe on civil law, you can say that, you can argue that, okay, maybe he respects the lawyer, maybe he will give like uh, I don't know, like he will rule for him in a sense, right? He will
Yeah.
favorize him in a sense. But when it comes to the criminal law,
Yeah.
the judges need to be impartial, right?
I
They need to
understand.
be impartial. It doesn't matter if I like you as the lawyer or if I like you as the prosecutor. I need to
Yeah.
be impartial. I need to judge based on the evidence.
Yes.
That's why there's not a jury system,
Got
and the
it.
judge is solely the decision maker.
Yeah. Okay, so you feel like they are formidable as well, then, right? That's good to hear. So would you say that the judge has so far been fair in terms of how he's been making his decisions so far? Because from the outside looking in, it seems like just at the moment, he's giving the prosecutor as much chance as he
Yeah.
can, just to see if he can prove anything, right?
Well, uh, I think there's a lot of I think we need to understand that there's a lot of pressure on the legal system right now, especially in this specific case, because there is a
Yeah,
lot of eyeballs on it, right? And I feel like the judge doesn't want to make a mistake. And I read his legal document, the
yeah,
reasoning of the decision to keep them under arrest for 30 days, right? And then he said two of the main reasons why he decided to do that is, number one, so that they don't flee the country, which is understandable, and
yeah.
it was anticipated. But the second reason was that because Tate brothers are very well known persons and they receive a lot of media attention, right?
Yeah,
And so the judge said that if they would be set free, given the fact that they are facing serious charges,
yeah.
then the society this could create society insecurity, if that makes sense, right?
I understand. Yeah,
In a
yeah.
sense that, yeah, something like that, something along those lines. It's totally understandable, right? Because maybe he felt like the citizens would question the act of justice,
Mm.
and so that's why he decided to keep them under arrest.
Well,
To be honest with
technically,
you, I'll be yeah,
yeah.
I'll
Sorry.
be complete. One point, I want to make one point. I'll be completely honest with you. I've read the document, and based on the evidence that they have so far, it is not enough to convict them. is not enough. They only have like witness statements, some psychological reports, but this is not enough alone. Okay. But we also have to understand that we are only in the investigation phase,
Yeah,
and the prosecutor can have a lot more evidence that he has on the case file. Because remember, Tate's lawyers do not have access still to the case file.
I
And that's
understand.
why might be one of the reasons why.
But that's crazy,
Yeah.
right? It's like they just want to give them just what they want to
Yeah.
show, what they have to, right?
Yeah.
Because I seen Andrew
Yeah.
Tate's
Yeah. It's
tweet he put out the
it's
other day.
actually
Yeah, sorry, go on.
you know I would say that it's actually a common practice in Romania
Yeah,
to not give access to the case files, and it's mainly for two reasons. Number one, so they don't compromise the evidence that they have, and number two, so they don't influence the witnesses and the statements. That's why.
yeah. I understand. Yeah, because I even seen Andrew Tate's tweet the other day where he said, "Look, they've kind of locked me up to search for evidence. They haven't got evidence,
Exactly.
or perhaps he's just maybe making that point because they've not showed him or their lawyers anything, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's really, really
Nobody knows. Like right now, the only people that have access to the case file is the prosecutor. That's it, and
yeah.
his policeman that is working for him.
I understand. So surely after 30 days, let's just say if we are still in the same position where, you know, the
Yeah.
prosecutors feel like they need more time to find some more evidence. Now, remember the judge has already refused them 2 times, I think, two or three times. So from the judge point of view, he has to make out like he's also now being fair, right? So do you think he will
Yeah.
maybe release them or give them some house detention or something like that if there's no further evidence? Or do you think the prosecutor is just going to come with one TikTok video and say, well, look, he said this, or look, he said this, and yeah, this is evidence?
I don't think, yeah, it's a very good point. I don't think one TikTok video will be enough. What I predict, and based on what I feel and what I've seen so far, based on the evidence that is available to the public, I would say that he's going to propose an extension of the arrest period for 30 days.
Yeah.
But he would have to come and prove to the judge that this extension is really needed in order for him to gather further evidence. And he will also have to present further evidence, right? Because, for example, I'll just give you an example. In the document that I've read, the rape charges, they only have one witness statement for that, okay,
Yeah.
which is not enough.
Not
The
enough.
judge actually says, look, if you want to move forward with this charge, it is required that you provide us more evidence, because else we are going to drop the rape charges.
Yeah. I understand. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So, but see, one of the 3 points that the judges made was that the reason he rejected their appeal was because, in case they fled the country, right?
Yep.
But the argument could be also made that, there's such high profile people and, there's going to be a point where they're going to now want to prove, because they're not going to say I'm guilty, right? Even if they are or if they're not, everyone's got their own opinions on that. But like, do you think that he's going to, he can't use that? Because in 30 days, if he releases them, they can flee again, right? So if he then releases them, for example, and he's used a point that the reason I'm keeping them in is because they don't flee, and then he does the opposite after 30 days, what could happen there? Do you think he could get a little backlash?
That's exactly one of the reasons why I feel like he's going to extend the arrest for another 30 days.
Really?
That's exactly, you put it through. Yeah. Only one of the reasons. The second reason would be because again, we have to understand the judge only takes the decisions and the prosecutor is the one that proposes.
Yeah.
Okay, but in order for his decision to be accepted, he needs to come forward
Yeah.
and present evidence that support that proposal.
Interesting. What is the Romanian the people from Romania? What is the average mood about the Christian brothers? Because I know they've done a lot of good, right? They've done so much good for the country. They
Yeah.
put the country on the map and everything. So,
Yeah.
is it positive or is it more negative?
Yeah, this I will also tell you from my personal opinion. I feel like Tate brothers together, they did so much more marketing than
Yeah.
the Ministry of Travel has ever did in 10 years for Romania. Okay.
Right.
So I feel like he added a lot of value to Romania. Now, in terms of the public sentiment, obviously, Romanian people, there are two sides of it, right? There are people that love him, there are people that hate him.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would say that people that love him also have like a more connection, a more tight connection, because they know who they are. They know that maybe he's not the person that they're trying to portray him in. And I feel the same thing, to be honest with you. Like at first I was very, I was very one-sided, but then I started to learn more and more about him. And after I saw, for example, the Vice interview, like the leaks that they've done. And for me, in my opinion, you can clearly see that this was built especially to make him in a bad light. Okay, this was an attack to him. Exactly, because first of all, even the evidence that they provide, right? They are out of context, first of all, the audio recordings. And then second, they can't be used in the Romanian court if they would want to, for example, because they are not eligible, because there's no territorial jurisdiction for that. And also the deeds are already prescribed. And so this was like I would say a shady attack, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, even if he's a bad person, let's assume Andrew Tate is a bad person, okay?
Yeah.
Even if he's a bad person, you can't portray somebody in this light when he invited you into his home, he opened his doors for you, right? And he treated you well. I mean, he introduced you, he showed you, he gave him his time, right? I mean, I don't like this types of tactics, if you ask me.
Yeah. And I think most people agree with that, to be honest. So it's,
Yeah.
Have you also seen the women, some of the women that have been accused, that have come out and said that, look, they're not letting us speak. He's a really good guy, we're friends, and have you heard that recently? They've come out, the two girls.
Yeah, I saw. Unfortunately, this does not matter unless they become witness in the case. Does that make sense? They need to become witness in the case in order to provide those evidence.
Yeah.
For him.
But that could be a potential, right? Their defense may use them later on if it goes that far, right?
Let's take the legal, because I just wanted to make a point, because I haven't made it in any other interview. I think it's very important. Like, let's take aside the legal aspect, the lawyer, everything, right? From an alpha male perspective, because I think what an alpha male means and what it stands for. I assume you are one. I strive to be one. From an alpha male perspective, when you have all this money and you have all access to all these beautiful women, it's impossible to want to rape somebody, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
At least in my opinion, like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, only from an alpha male psychology.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, he's got private jets. He's got all the Rolls Royces, so Ferrari. So like he's gonna have more of a chance of getting the best looking girls than someone who's just working at a supermarket, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a psychological contradiction, in my opinion. It's a psychological contradiction.
Yeah. So do you feel he's gonna get out in the next 20 days, or do you feel like the judge is gonna accept the extension?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I feel like,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like this prosecutor, especially that he's a chief prosecutor and that he's very well known in Romania, he knows what he's doing. He has experience, and he wouldn't take the case and he wouldn't put them on arrest for 30 days unless he had something serious against them, or unless he knew that he has high chances of succeeding. Okay. So that's why I think they are going to have a tough time. Now, do I believe they are guilty? I have no idea. I tend to think that they're not guilty of rape or some other charges that they're facing. I feel like, it's just something put together against them. But time will tell, and the evidence will come forward, and we'll see exactly what happens.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, fingers crossed. Look, like I like him personally. I think I think everyone's got flaws and everyone's got ups and downs, and if we strip anyone down, so I hope things work out for them in the best way. Now I want you to turn my attention to you have a company that you help people get into business and crypto. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So actually right now I have a company in Dubai.
Yeah.
We help other companies with company formation, legal services, financial services, and business development. What we actually do, to put it in another way, we help them incorporate in Dubai so they
Got it.
can take advantage of zero tax jurisdiction, so they can pay zero taxes while
Okay.
providing them with the legal and financial infrastructure, which
Okay.
means that they outsource their legal and financial department with us. So that's what we do currently.
Okay, so in theory, I've watched some of your Instagram reels. What is a free zone company in Dubai?
Yeah. So there are two types of companies in Dubai. The first type is called the mainland, which implies that you have to sell something directly to them, to the UAE citizen across UAE.
So like a
And there's
shop.
the other type of company. Yeah, like physical shop, or you're providing services directly to them, to the
Yep.
UAE citizens, okay, in UAE. And the other type of company is called the free zone. You are not allowed to sell anything directly to them, but you can operate your business on international level. Almost any type of online service-based business or e-commerce business,
Yep.
they can register their business in Dubai and they can pay zero taxes. There's no point on registering. Let's assume you are from Germany, right? There's no point on registering your business in Germany, so you pay
Yep.
30-40% taxes
Yep.
if you provide some online services on international level, or if you have an e-commerce store, right? And so then the option is to register a free zone company in Dubai,
Yep.
right? You have your bank account over there and everything, and you pay zero taxes because it's a zero tax
That's
jurisdiction.
really good, isn't it? I mean, especially if it's a service based.
Yeah.
So do you, for example, like I do sometimes a bit of coaching, so I can literally register in Dubai, pay zero
Yeah.
tax. Do I then have to visit Dubai a few times a year just to make sure, or
No.
really?
So we need to understand there's a difference between the company's money and your personal income and your
Got it.
personal money, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What we
yeah.
are doing now, we are registering your company in Dubai, and your company's money will pay zero taxes. Now,
Yep.
if you want to withdraw this money to your personal level and to pay zero taxes on that, you need to get a tax residency in Dubai, which implies that you need to stay at least 3 months per year.
Got it.
Okay, but if you only want to have zero taxes on the company and you want to spend from the company on the company's behalf, right? Then you don't need to ever travel to Dubai.
Yeah. So
The
from
whole
the company
process
you
is done
can,
remotely.
yeah. So from the
Yeah,
company you can write off expenses, and if you've got any, you can do that sort of thing, right?
exactly. Any type of expenses, because since you pay zero taxes, they don't really care about what type of expense you write off. So you can eat at restaurants, you can pay hotels, you can buy software, you can pay marketing, whatever it might be. You can write it off as an expense.
Interesting. So do you need a bit Dubai bank account for that, I suppose?
Yeah, you need a Dubai bank account. That's needed, yes.
Right. So how much does it cost? So you offer this service, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So if
yes.
somebody came to you, what do you charge them for setting up a free zone company in Dubai?
Okay, so I will give you a price range because we
Yeah, yeah.
offer different packages. For example, the prices start anywhere from 5K and can go up to 30K. And obviously for 30K, it's like we take a business that is already running in a specific jurisdiction, like in Germany or whatever country, and we move their operations to Dubai while providing them the legal financial infrastructure. But again, like to give you an estimation, between 5 to 30K USD.
From 5 to 30,000 US dollars.
Yes, exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
depending on what level you're on. But I'm just talking about somebody that's just starting off, literally just starting off, and he wants to
Okay,
register.
so just a company would be like $4,800, so like 5K, around 5K.
And then they can start putting
Yeah.
money in there, right?
Yeah, they can. Well, you also need a bank account after that, and then you can start putting money over there. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. And okay, that's really good. What other services do you offer? Did you say you help with other businesses and crypto? I mean, crypto's an interesting one these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, we started in the Web3 space. We mainly had at the beginning Web3 clients, meaning crypto projects, right? But
Yeah,
after that, we shifted more towards e-commerce and social media marketing because, there was a bear market and obviously everybody was affected by that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
we are expanding to other niches as well.
Interesting, interesting. What's your, just generally speaking, what's your thought on Bitcoin? Do you think, it's going to hold, and do you think like it's going to go up, or when do you think is going to, start making upward direction?
Well, I think like anything else in the world, Bitcoin is also cyclical, right? So there are ups and downs, bear market, bull market. I have no doubt that the next bull market will start very soon. In fact, if you look in the past, it's usually every 4 years there's a
Yep.
event happening which is called the halving, and usually after that the bull market starts. I assume that the bull market will start by the end of this year,
Yep.
so we're expecting that. Here's the thing: Bitcoin, in my opinion, it's useless. Okay, it's only a store of value. It's the icon of the crypto industry. However, there are other projects that
Yep.
are being built with using blockchain technology that is undeniable technology, and it will be part of our future no matter what. And I could just give you one single example so you understand. Right now,
Yep.
when you are trying to buy and sell a property, you are
Yep.
going to a notary to legalize your documents.
Yep.
In the future, the title of property will be saved on the blockchain, and you will give it to anybody that you want to sell it to, just a simple transfer as it is, right? So then you don't need any middlemen or anything else.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Why is this come up on the screen? Is this
It's a timer for
okay? Okay.
the
How long
Zoom
do we
call
have
will end
left?
in 1 hour. That's 9 minutes.
All right. Okay. 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 I thought it was going off. Right. Yeah, that's interesting you say that, Stefan. What's your thoughts on XRP? Because I've invested a lot of money in XRP and I'm just praying they win some court case or something. And it's been going on for years. I don't know what's going on.
I was invested in XRP as well. I would say that it's a solid
Have you
project. I
invested as
would say
well?
that yeah, I was invested in the past. I actually have made some money, right, on XRP. I think it's a solid project. I think what they are doing is special, and they have a lot of connections, and they are the pioneers in terms of providing this blockchain technology to the banking system, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What they are trying to do is to just to change and to get rid of the Swift and everything, the transactions that happen right now with the traditional banking, and uh, just use the ledger technology instead of that. Uh, yeah, I think they have a bright future. If you ask me, I don't see any reason why they would scam or they would
Yeah, yeah.
rug anybody. Right? I feel like it's a project that will be here in 5, 10, 20 years, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. When do you, hopefully, I know it's been getting delayed, but when do you think they'll win the court case?
To be honest with you, I had a period like last year I was watching, but I feel like it's taking too long, for this
It is,
court
isn't it?
case to
Yeah.
come to. Yeah, too long, too long.
Honestly, I
I
think the
think,
same.
yeah, I think we are near. Maybe this year they're going to have a solution on that. And I also feel like no matter what, the worst case scenario, they're going to have a fine. They're going to get fined, right? But they're worth tens of billions of dollars, I think, right now.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
if they get a fine for 100 million, it's nothing. They will just pay it. Like, take it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So true. And I do think the price is getting compressed as well. So hopefully if they
Yeah,
start winning these court cases, or even if they start getting these fines, then after that, the price may shoot up to, I don't know, it could be anything, right?
yeah, yeah.
Do these days, I mean, you're a young guy, right? What do you think that young men, just from your experience and from when you meet people, like, where do you think they struggle a lot these days in terms of young guys and, young
Yeah.
people?
I think there's too much information out there, and I think people lack discipline. And since they don't have discipline, it's very easy for them to be pulled in many directions, right? Because
Yeah.
let me give you an example. You find somebody and he gives you a business advice on the internet, right? You like a TikTok and you like what the business advice he gives. And then one day after that, you see another person that is giving another business advice, but is contradicting the advice that the other guy gave you the first time. And so when you are trying to do something, right, you have to be very careful, because if you are not disciplined and you are not conscious of the decision that you're making and what knowledge you are accumulating and you are soaking in, then you can go like this, once left, right, go back, forth, so you don't have a clear direction. I think that's one of the biggest problem right now.
Yeah, yeah. We are living in the information era, right? And it is crazy. It's so true because I know so many people that, that, for example, they want to lose weight, right? And there's like hundreds and thousands of personal trainers online. And then if you read
Yeah,
Men's Health magazine, it gives you some different information. You read something else and everyone's giving you different information. Then you don't even know what to go with, right?
exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Totally crazy. What is the capital of Romania is Bucharest, right?
Yep, yep.
What is the nightlife like up there?
I'm not living in Bucharest. I've been a couple of times. I would say that even if Bucharest is the capital, there are at least two other cities that are more beautiful and are more vibrant than Bucharest, which is Cluj is one of them. It's like the
Cluj.
center for Cluj. Yeah, it's like the center for nerds. Like all the IT guys, all the IT firms are over there, right?
Okay.
And then also Brasov, I like it a lot. Brasov, it's like on the mountainside. It's very clean. It's a smaller city, but it's very clean. It's beautiful. Like the energy is totally different. Bucharest is very crowded. There's a lot of things to do. The nightlife is beautiful and everything, but I feel like it's too crowded. You can't, if you want, you can go there for a weekend or 1 week, but I don't think you are going to like staying there for a long time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, listen, you are the expert who's spoken with, about Andrew Tate, and we spoke business, we spoke crypto, we spoke, other things as well. So I really, really appreciate your time. I know it's, different time zone where you are. So, we'll stay in touch. And if I can do anything for you, bro, just message me. And likewise, and hopefully
Same,
one day we meet soon or we catch up soon, yeah?
same. Thanks so much for having me. And in the future, if you want to do this again, just feel
Yeah,
free
yeah,
to
yeah.
reach out and more
I
than
will do,
happy to
bro.
do it.
I will do. Thank you. Enjoy
Okay.
your gym session. Go and have your pre-workout now.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
See you.
Okay,
Thank
see you
you.
later.
Bye bye.